Hey there, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here, and today I wanted to talk about this Andeman Jump Starter. This thing is a really cool little way to have emergency backup for if you were out, let's say camping, which is what I do a lot, and you woke up and you had a dead battery, right? This thing will help you jump your car by yourself without having to hook up jumper cables to another vehicle. So I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the features, the specs of this thing, what it will jump, if it will work for your vehicle. So if you want to learn more about the Andeman Jump Starter, stay tuned.
Let you go. Ooh, let's just pull you closer. Ooh, I can't understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you gave to me. Loosening my grip.
All right, guys. So as I mentioned in the intro today, I'm talking about this Andeman Jump Starter. Now, there are a bunch of these things out there, right? And I've had a couple of them. And what I will say is that this one is surprisingly small compared to a lot of them that I've seen. So basically, this comes in this really nice little case that holds the jump starter here. And then you've got your cables and everything, your charging cables up here. But even closed down here, I mean, as you can see, like, here's my hand, right? Like, it's really, really small and really thin, too. And I'll throw the dimensions up here on the screen. But this thing is actually surprisingly not super heavy. Has this nice grab handle on the case, too. The case is really, really high quality and really nice and holds the jump starter perfectly. And all the stuff that you need. So, again, you can throw this behind your seat. You can throw it under your seat. You can throw it in a drawer system in the back if you've got one of those. There's a ton of different ways to just keep this thing. But I'm telling you, I've had multiple times when I wake up and I have a dead battery and you're out in the middle of nowhere and it's like, well, I don't have any cell reception. What am I going to do, right? So that's why I've become a big fan of these jump starters. This thing will jump up to a 9-liter gas engine or a 7-liter diesel engine. It is a 3,000 amp unit, so that's the peak. Basically, it's essentially a 20,000 milliamp hour battery with jumper cables attached to it. It charges off USB-C, which is really nice because that's what all of our stuff nowadays charges off of. So you can use the cord that comes with it, or you can use other cords if you don't have that one with you. It weighs about 2.3 pounds, so it is a very light little unit. So it's not like you're throwing a ton of weight into the back of your vehicle while adding a ton of capability to jumpstart your vehicle if it would be dead, if the battery would be dead. One thing that they also say is that it's good for 24 months on standby. So basically what that means is, the nice thing is you can charge it all up, which when it comes, one note is that it does come discharged with lithium batteries. Sometimes they have to do that for safety. But so it does come discharged. So I charged it all the way up. So then you can let it sit for up to 24 months and it's still usable. You can still use it to jumpstart your vehicle. Now, I would probably recommend checking it every few months just to make sure that it hasn't lost too much of its capacity. But the fact that it's got this digital readout screen on it makes it really easy to see what you're at really quick. Another thing that they mentioned that I really like is that this thing is made to work in negative 20 degrees Celsius up to 60 degrees Celsius. I'll put the Fahrenheit version of that up on the screen here. But you can use this in really cold temps. So you don't have to worry about, hey, it's really cold and my battery's dead. Will this thing work? Yes, it should work in up to negative 20 degrees Celsius. So that's really nice to know too. Again, I just keep these. I have one in my wife's vehicle. I have one in my vehicle. The one in my vehicle, though, is probably twice as big as this thing. I mean, it's huge. I don't know why. It just is much bigger than this thing. But this thing works great. I actually used it to jumpstart my truck the other day. I didn't get video of it, but my old truck was dead and I had to jumpstart it to move it around in the driveway. You just hook it up and then it's basically like your battery's full, right? It's dumping power in there. Now, if it's totally dead, you may want to hook it up and give it a few minutes just to kind of pump some juice in, and you're going to kind of watch it go down on the screen, right? You're going to see it kind of diminish the power as it pulls it out of this thing. But then after a couple of minutes, even with a really, really dead battery, you should be able to just turn your key and start that thing right up. So let's dive into sort of the buttons on this thing. I want to show you this. I want to show you everything that comes with it. So again, if you are considering this thing and you kind of want to know, what do I get? What comes with it? How does it work? Or if you have questions about it because you own one of these, hopefully this is going to answer that part. So basically, if you want to see what your power bank is at, it's right here. One thing is on the top, there's this waterproof sort of cover, but then you've actually got two USB-A's and a USB-C. Now, the USB-C works both ways, so you can actually charge things out of this. So you could use this just like a power bank. So that's another thing that I like is sometimes if I'm just sitting by the fire and I have a pretty new truck now, I don't have to worry about the battery being dead as much. I may just use this thing because it's so small as a power bank. I may bring it over and set it on a table next to me and plug my phone into it, right? Just to kind of keep that charged and going. Or little devices, hand warmers, things like that. I may just charge off of this because it's easier, right? I don't need to bring a whole big power bank from home when I've got this thing. So you can use that for charging via USB-C or the two USB-A's. On the other side here is another waterproof cover For the car jumping cables, now again, those are included. One thing to note is they're very short, but that's because this thing is really small and can be put anywhere, right? And then you just plug this thing into that carport there on the side, hook up positive to positive, negative to negative, right? And you will start to see this thing go down. It'll show you that it's charging, that it's putting power into the battery, and then you're good to go. You just basically go and you turn your key and you start the car as if it were hooked up to another car via jumper cables. Now on the other side here, you've got your power button. So again, this is going to turn itself off after some time automatically just to save power. But so if you want to see where you're at, you just hit that power button, it will turn on your display. But then up top here, you've got a flashlight button. And basically what that is on the bottom here, there's a flashlight. So if you hold that for a couple seconds, it's going to turn on your flashlight. So again, multi-uses, right? So if you're out and you get a flat tire or your battery's dead, if it's the morning, it's really early and it's dark and your battery's dead, you can use this thing as kind of a work light while you're getting in there and getting ready. And then you're hooking up your jumper cables, right, to be able to jumpstart your vehicle. You've got a flashlight on there. Now it's got a few modes. It's got that sort of standard, and then it's got a strobe and then like a slow flash. So you could also use this to kind of like warn motorists, like let's say you're on the side of the road or something. I don't know why you would be with a dead battery, but maybe. But you could use this as like a strobing, like emergency kind of thing to get people's attention. The main thing I would use it for, though, is probably a flashlight, just to help me, see if it was really dark to get this thing placed. So, but again, really, really small footprint, really, really high quality, really nice little unit with a really nice carrying case and everything that you need all in one. And this thing goes for about $55 on Amazon. There's a code that I will put in the description down below to get you 20% off too. So definitely check that out. But this is just a great little unit. If you're looking to not spend $150, $200 on like the name brand jump starters, you just want something as sort of a backup, but just in case, then this may be a good option for you because it's really inexpensive. And again, it's definitely better to have than nothing. So this is a great way to make sure that you're ready just in case you ever needed to jump and weren't around anybody else. So if you're looking for something like that, definitely consider checking it out. As I mentioned, there will be a link in the description down below to it and a coupon code. So make sure to use the coupon code to save 20% so you don't have to pay full price. But I hope that was helpful. If it was, click that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button. Click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I do like a gear video usually every week, and then I will usually do some sort of like a newbie overlanders podcast type video. So tons of content here for you if you're into camping. I have a 3rd gen Nissan Frontier, so I talk about that a lot. Gear modifications, do-it-yourself budget stuff, tons of stuff around all that. So if you're interested in any of that, consider subscribing. There's also a link below to all my other social channels, so wherever you want to come hang out, I'd love to have you. There's a link to my website where I've got funny overlanding camping themed patches and stickers, so things like don't burn your wiener and it's a hot dog, or all things overlanding like the logo and it's a patch or a sticker. I've got stickers and patches, so if you want to put it on your fridge or your headliner, there's options there for everything. Also below this video is a join button. That's just kind of a passive way to support the channel, get you early access to the videos, get you some other perks, and it's just kind of a nice way to say, hey, I appreciate the content, thanks. Now, if you want a more active way to be involved with all things overlanding, there's also a link to my Patreon group. Now, that is way more active. We have a 24/7 Discord. We all kind of chat about our gear and our rigs, and we do a once-a-month Zoom call, and we're trying to get together once or twice a year to go camping. So that's always a ton of fun as well. And then last but not least, there's a link to the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group. This is just a totally free group to join, but whether you're new or experienced, it's different from the big groups because there's no bullying. We're all just trying to help each other enjoy the hobby, get out and explore. So if you're into that, check that out as well. But that'll do it for the Andeman 3000 amp jump starter. Check out the link in the description below if you want one, and we'll see you next time.